Today, let's talk about the power of color. Specifically, how can a business owner, how can an entrepreneur use color in their wardrobe to get what they want out of life? Now, I want to thank Valuetainment, Patrick and his team over there for having me here on their channel to talk with you guys about this. And I need to say this. This is a big subject. A lot of people, they avoid color. They're scared of it because they can make mistakes. Now, if I were to make some big generalizations, many men are afraid of this. Women, on the other hand, they've grown up in and around color. They understand the power, the influence, how you can direct the eyes, you can grab attention. It has psychological effects, but I see with a lot of women, they can overuse it. Oftentimes they'll choose and they'll go buy clothing which has too much color, is too memorable, and they become known as that woman or that person wearing that same dress, wearing those same accessories again and again. What we're aiming for here, and if you go back to my earlier videos, is interchangeability. So I do feel that if you focus in on the fit, in general, you're going to want the colors of the items in your wardrobe to be pretty much, we're talking blues, we're talking grays, we're talking blacks, we're talking whites, we're talking the very staple foundation colors. However, if I were to equate color to a spice, like salt, think about that. When you're making soup, you add too much salt, no one wants to eat the soup. But if you don't add enough, it's not going to bring out the flavor. So equate color to salt, to being able to bring out the flavor in your clothing, but you don't want to overpower. Now, again, I understand that some of you guys that really understand color, yes, you can wear a red dress. Yes, you can wear perhaps, an accessory or something that's going to really draw attention. But understand that's what you're doing. You're drawing attention. If you're going into a meeting where you don't want to stand out, where you want to, in a sense, blend in because you simply want to listen, you're going to be one of the only women at a networking event. In a sense, you want to give a more professional feel so that, you know how it is. You show up to some of these events, guys start flirting with you. That's something we want to avoid, but you can do that with color because some of these colors send the signal of authority, of strength, of trustworthiness, and that's what we're looking to do. Make sense? Okay, so let's take a step back. Most of us are going to gravitate towards colors which naturally complement us. I know as a young man, as a boy, I loved the color green. It was the color olive green, and I knew that, but everyone in my class, they would say, what are their favorite colors? Pink and blue. Well, why? I don't know why we fall into this, but sometimes we're pressured into falling into certain colors. So go back and think, be honest with yourself. What colors are you naturally drawn to? Some of this is going to have to do with your natural contrast. So we're talking about your hair color, your skin color, your eye color, and certain colors are going to work really well for you. If you need quick advice and you don't get enough from this video, again, in the description of this video, I'll link to some additional resources, but I find going into your box stores like Nordstrom's, Macy's, JCPenney's, talking with people maybe that do makeup, I find that some of these women and men actually know a heck of a lot more about color than the average person and can point you in the right direction. But the point is, you have certain colors which you naturally gravitate towards that work with your complexion, so start to use them. For me, browns, because I have brown hair. I have also brown eyes. So I'm going to gravitate definitely towards browns and a few shades of it because it naturally works. If you've got blue eyes, think wearing blue, it's going to pull out your eyes. It's going to make people focus in on them. It's going to naturally work for you. Like let's say if you're a redhead, then you probably know, especially as a woman, that certain colors like greens just really work. But it's not just that color. It's also, what do we talk? So color in general, we're talking about hues. That's the main color. But you can have variations of that color green. You can have a tint, which is when they add white. You can have a shade, which is when they add black. So all of these things, you can see any color can have multiple variations of it, and you want to pay attention. You want to find what works for you. In general, though, if you are light complected, you've got maybe blonde, reddish hair with lighter color skin, you need to be careful of certain colors overpowering you. A color like this is going to work great for a shirt. A color like this, colors like this, can start to overpower you. Brighter colors, you got to be careful of. If you've got darker colored skin, darker colored hair, and you just have that darker complexion, you can start to look better, I think, in a lot of dark colors. This one combination right here, dark colored shirt, red tie, blue suit. You could pull that off. But I think for a guy that has what I talked about with the low contrast, where you've got the light colored hair, light colored skin, this is going to be too much and you would rather go for a jacket like that. The same with women. Although I would say because oftentimes you're wearing more of a one, occasionally dresses, and you've got some variations with skirts and with blouses. But so think about what I'm talking here with your jackets and with more of your business wear. Although I do think, especially with certain times of the year, certain types of weather, you can wear certain colors. And that's a little bit of an advanced topic. I would say lighter colors for hotter weather, darker colors for more winter weather. Almost from a practical sense, it's going to work better. But let's get back and let's talk now about what colors naturally go with people. So I was talking about the eyes. Look at your eye color. Look at your hair color. Your skin tone. What you want is what's going to be up next to your skin. So for men, because oftentimes we're layering with jackets, we can actually go, if you've got lighter colored skin, you could wear something like this with a darker colored jacket and it would work fine because you see how the blend is going there? So next to your lighter skin, it's not going to be as overpowering. Now, let's start talking about these individual colors because I know some of you guys, okay, I love the color red. I love the color lavender. My color go-to is yellow or gold. Well, those are accent colors. They're spice colors. I'm not saying, again, that you can't wear a dress, you can't wear accessories with that, but you need to understand it's going to fit, it's going to stick on people's mind. There's a reason why red is a power tie. It sends a signal of authority. We remember it. The color pink. We definitely, if you're a man and you're pulling off pink, people are going to remember that. So if you've got and I think a pink shirt looks great on a man, but you need to understand that it's going to be something that's going to stand out. The vast majority of your business wardrobe, though, especially when you're going in to get alone, you're wanting to talk with somebody and you don't want them to focus in on your body. You don't want them to focus in on your build. Maybe you're a bit overweight. Maybe you're a really thin individual. Whatever it may be, you want their attention here on your face and on your eyes. So your clothing's job is to direct all of that. So blues. Blues are a foundation color, a wide range of them. We've got dark navy blue. We've got medium blue. We've got light blue. So right here, medium blue. It's not really a true blue. I didn't have an example with me, but true blue is going to be the hue. It's going to be a very bold blue. You see it occasionally in suits over in the UK. I think the Prince Charles and a few other guys made that one very popular over there. But I think for most guys, we're going to want to go with what closer to a navy. Now this one has a bit of a pattern in it. I don't think you can see it in this video, but this right here is classic and it's going to be formal. You can wear this next to pretty much any business attire. It's going to look great. You can occasionally wear it in a shirt, but that shirt is going to be casual. It's kind of an interesting contrast. How in a jacket, and this applies to women as well, jackets, the darker colored jackets and skirts are going to be more formal, lighter color, less formal, simply by the color. But shirts have the opposite effect. And the part of that goes back to history. White shirts in general are going to be your most formal of shirts because they signal white color. Basically that you don't have to work with your hands, that you work with your mind. So that's where a lot of that comes with, and we get back to actually clothing that has particular prescriptions such as a black tie, such as tuxedos, such as white tie. You'll find that that's where that kind of feeling and the cultural significance of white with a dark colored jacket actually comes from. And this is both in women and menswear. And we're kind of excluding dresses out of here. Now, to get more casual, I could start to bring a combination like this. Again, this jacket right here, because of the brown look of it right here, this is going to be a more casual jacket. It's going to be lighter in color, even though the style is pretty much same with the navy one right over here. But again, this blue is a working class blue. So blue actually has, especially light blue, the mix with indigo, and indigo in jeans, which if you've got a pair of dark colored jeans, they're always going to be casual. But indigo, medium blue, this is a working class color. Nothing wrong with that. But you have to realize this is not going to be something that you're going to want to wear into a formal event. Even with a necktie, this shirt, this type of, it's got an Oxford weave right here. This is going to always be casual. So we've talked a little bit about blue. I could go into more, but let's talk about blacks, whites, and grays. I'm bringing all those together because if you think about it, white's here, black's here, and gray is everything in between. And there's technically an infinite number of shades of gray. But we're going to talk about three particular shades. We're going to talk about charcoal gray, which is close to black. We're going to talk about medium gray, and we're going to talk about light gray. So starting off with the light gray, this is going to be the most casual of all the grays. And like all the grays here I'll talk about, it's a non-color, What's great about non-colors, you can match any color with it. So if you're a woman and you want a skirt that's going to be incredibly versatile, a medium or a light gray skirt. The great part about this, you can wear it with any color blouse, you can add any type of accessories, and that's what I recommend for a lot of people. Now, why do you say, okay, Antonio, what about a black? The thing you gotta be careful about black is it's so stark of a color that it's oftentimes gonna clash with other items, and it gives too much, it's just too much of a clash, and it can cut you in half. Versus the lighter color gray, you mix it with a few pastel different blouses and shirts, that's a pretty good combination. Maybe throw on a jacket. You could go with a matching jacket, therefore you've got a suit right there put together, or you could get a pair of pants with it. You got a nice pantsuit. But I think that right there is what you want to look at. But light gray is always going to be the more casual of all the grays. Medium gray is going to be another great combination. It's going to be more formal. In the United States and a lot of other Western countries, this you can wear into most business occasions. And by the way, I haven't gotten into patterns. I haven't gotten into any of that stuff yet, because that can make it a little bit less formal, and it complicates things just a tad, and is probably beyond what I'm going to talk about here, but I will link down in the description to patterns, so if you've got questions about that. But the medium gray, I think for a lot of men is great, especially when it comes to trousers. Again, very similar when I talked about skirts, being able to wear it with any type of blouse. The same thing with shirts. So if you've got a pair of medium gray flannel trousers, guys, you can wear that with pretty much any shirt combination. We're talking with a pink, with a lavender, with a white, with a light blue, with a dark blue. It's all going to work with those trousers right there. Now let's go to charcoal. So charcoal, and my overcoat right here is actually in charcoal. This is not going to, and a lot of people confuse it with black. Charcoal is not black. It's got a little bit of white in it, just off. And I think it is great because it covers up a lot of stains, especially that's why I have my overcoat in this color. And it is incredibly classic. Sends a very strong signal of authority right next to black, but it's not as aggressive as black. So a lot of people, they want to wear black. I think if you've got black hair, if you're a younger individual, go for it. But the problem with black is if you're older and your skin basically is starting to wrinkle, or you're losing some color in your skin, it can make you look older than what you are. It's also, I think, because of the high contrast, it's just a little bit harder to match. So we've talked about the blues. I didn't get into browns too much, but I will say brown gives an authority or gives a sense of a little bit of authority, but more of trust, and that this person is someone that should be approachable. A lot of salesmen can use a wide variety of sports jackets in browns. Now, when it comes to dresses, it comes to skirts, I think that tans, khakis, especially for men in chinos, summer wear, that can look really great. Very similar to the gray. It's going to match such a wide variety of items. But for women, I would say, yeah, you could wear a tan, you could wear a khaki, but I'm going to gear more towards the gray, although some of you guys can correct me down in the comments. So, color. I've got some pocket squares here because this is where I love to bring in color. It's going to be in my neckties. It's going to be in my pocket squares. It's going to be in the accessories. For a lot of women, you can bring this in with jewelry. What I love about bringing color in with accessories and small pieces like this is that you can easily change them, and you can spend more money on these base pieces and less money and have a wider variety because you can buy more of them, and you really change things up. And when you've got that interchangeable wardrobe, you can start to bring in, pink, blue, brighter blues, reds, yellows, golds, purples. All of this stuff I like to bring in with the accessories. Scarves are another option there. So we've hit a lot on color in this video. I advise you to go over to Valuetainment. I'm going to give them some additional resources, some additional charts and everything that can help explain more of this, especially when it comes to patterns, when it comes to, bringing all this together. But I would say with color, keep it simple. Focus in on fit, which we talked about in an earlier video. But really, this color combination right here, this is going to be business casual, I would say. It's not going to be but I could change this out for a white shirt, and all of a sudden I've got a more business formal look. But you see how one simple change, instead of going for this more monochromatic look, I bring in the higher contrast with the white. Women can do this as well, but that's what I gear for in these videos as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. I'm thinking that you want to send a message to that, when you're asking for that $100,000 line of credit for your business, hey, I'm someone that can be trusted. What's nice about the right style of clothing mixed with the right colors is that you can leverage everything that this person, that person working at the bank has been conditioned to believe, that somebody in a suit, somebody dressed the way you are is trustworthy. I know isn't fair and doesn't really, make sense logically, but it is something that people pay attention to, and I want you to use to your advantage. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching the video, and stay tuned. We've got more coming your way.